Tableau allows you to filter both dimensions and measures. Let's filter our data based on the product category dimension. To do this, drag product category from the data pane onto the filters pane. This will bring up the filter window. General filtering is our first option. Here we can specify which items from a list we want to use for the filter. When we click OK, notice that the visualization updates and changes based upon our filter selection. To edit our filter, we can double-click on the filter in the Filters pane. We can also right-click on the filter and select Edit Filter from the menu. An important thing to remember is that when editing filters, we need to reset the original value if we want to start fresh when editing a filter. Otherwise, each additional filter will be added on top of the previous filter. The next filtering option is Wildcard. Here we can type letters and select either Contains, Starts With, Ends With, or Exactly Matches. For example, we can type the letters Home and choose Starts With for our filter option. When we click OK, the filter will update. In this case, the filter will match the home improvement product category based upon the logic we used. The next filtering option is Condition. To set a condition, select a field and a type of aggregation. In our case, we will use quantity and sum. Next, add the matching condition for the filter. A useful tool to help us is the Load button. Clicking on this will load the minimum and maximum values. We can use this information to help us set the condition. Now we will select the greater than comparison option. We will enter a value of 300. When we hit OK, the visualization will update and only show product categories that have a total sum for quantity greater than 300. Next, we can use the top option. This allows us to filter for either the top or bottom number of matches based on the logic we choose. For example, we can select the top two based on the sum of quantity. When we click OK, we see that our visualization now shows only the top two product categories. We can also filter using measures. To do this, drag a measure from the data pane onto the filters pane. This will bring up the filters field window. The first thing we see is a list of options on how we want to filter our measure. Let's select all values and click Next. The next window we see gives us options on how to apply the filter. In this case, we have the option to filter based on the value of quantity available in each row of our data. For example, let's say that we want to filter only rows that have a value of 15 for their quantity. We can do this by dragging the controls under the numbers from left and right to the number 15. When we click OK, our visualization is updated. To apply a different filter, we can click and drag our current filter off from the filters pane to remove it. This will reset our visualization. Next, let's take the quantity measure and move it back onto the filters pane. This time we will select Sum for the filter option and click Next. The next window gives us the option to filter based upon the total sum of quantities from the data. This time we will choose the At Least option from the top row, which means that the results will show product categories that have at least a sum of 300 or greater for their total quantity. When we click OK, the visualization updates. It's possible to apply more than one filter to our visualization. For example, we can filter our visualization using a filter for both region and the delivery method. To do this, we will drag region from the data pane onto the filters pane and check the box next to North and click OK. Then we will drag delivery from the data pane onto the filters pane and check the box next to Home Delivery and click OK. These filters are now applied and our visualization updates to reflect them both. If we want our filters to be available as an interactive element in our sheet view, we can right-click on the filter in the Filters pane and select Show Filter. This will add the filter control so we can make changes without having to edit the filter each time. Finally, another way to remove filters is to right-click on the filter and select Clear Filter from the menu.